Ia vinaka sabe kindaba kina nonde wansini ngona baruta kina Vakekeli ena salani ka kambura kina Radio Fiji 1 nando miwiti ena eka binisinga moni tiko bakana kene bagarau na nonda dingo miru tiko nonda bulangi karanda umailewena nonda wansini ngona baruta ngoka ena nonda lamani palini wale sikaranga ina magiti ona kena saravi muri ena retio lealo ya ena moni tini madhawa kataraba nda ba binaka ena kabini ku ni rawarinda umei nonda bulangi na buni lewa ni anduna tambana bo ni vengara vena matani tuana Accident Compensation Commission of Fiji Mr. Parvez Akbar ka randa me malewe kenda tiko kabini ku kin nonda buni bola tali da bola bola o kotiro tiko mai na bue kaningoka ena kena ngandrebi mena mai bata kilebi kenda na vengaravi engaravi ena ro tambana gena ro bali bola bola tau manda na vivo so tibe ke munin na ndo warongo kena ndo ndingi taga na Vakekeli na Radio Fiji 1 nonda bulangi na buni lewa ni Accident Compensation Commission Fiji Mr. Parvez Akbar ena bostinga weekend na bosa wa Pertania au vambauta ni onina dingoma tiko na kenoya ka kero sana ngai sanga tiko kena marama ka gungo ka tali da bola bola me kero na tarati ko ani na kena ibandewa ke baka na tiko na lama tarotaro no muninga ndreba monina kila na utu ni tukutuku e bagandewa taki na kabini Vakekeli ni kwanda sana bagambu sorti ko Mr. Parvez sa nimbola binaka
Bula vinaka.
Welcome to the show, and I believe the Vakekeli listeners for this afternoon are ready to hear more from you.
Nagvalevu, Malakai. As you know, we're here from the Accident Compensation Commission. The commission was established by the Accident Compensation Act 2017, and the scheme that it has set up has been operating since 1st of January 2018. And basically what the scheme does is that anybody who is who suffers a personal injury or dies from a motor vehicle accident in Fiji now is entitled to compensation from the commission.
Nakana ACCF waksa vamadalta kana toragaliu Accidental Compensation Commission Fiji. I was a Accident Compensation Commission Act. And na wala kita samay tawanan makingo asuletan nga may na bebuke where na lenubano lokad kinan do na vong kay where na lenubano ka kimni sura ka mo ira vong bakinga ko kito tigbukinay na cut off date matani January 2018 ke don example ke ka dona zonga nge mati kenan dona wekam ke dora di bebu ke perna mati materna personal injuries around totani personal injuries total na procedures death compensation total na procedures na death compensation no kwa tuna natola na 75,000 dosulia on personal injuries compensation in total itu kuna sutana position na wa muria kana ge wa madalta ko turangan lilu na position
pina bale usar tali da ave ke min bagatunda lingat ko mai en sigani ko bambo teni sama tata ko weekend na iba madala en ndo bata na Vakekeli ena kabi ndenda itabani bengaravi na Accident Compensation Commission Fiji ka tiona kena buni lewa engaraba batamba kindua na veka membala tana kena somi bagailabu na mbula karaba lenga ena badala kaya ngoni sale bagati kebuta mai ena badala ka mai matai ni January ni rondo lutin kawalu ena taunda kuninga uno ya na lo subinga na kena bengaravi kanda ngarabi Mr. Parvez, when was the last payout or the payment of compensation that you did from your office?
Well, the last payout was a few weeks ago, and it got some media attention. You might have noticed Ms. Lomani received $75,000, and the reason she received $75,000 is because her 7-year-old son passed away from a motor vehicle accident, unfortunately, on Culture Road on the 2nd of February. And as the mother of the child, she was entitled to that compensation as a result of that accident.
Wale besar, dapana kene dewa ronin bara rosa ron rotu chikuna ndo andingi takana Vakekeli.
Yana matani webu kala ko be Islamania may avanga na lubentangani mabuksaro to na ACCF ki di na betani tineningone asule na webu na ACCF ana matani to webu ka asule benda na matubali.
Wale puwe kemani na ndo andingi takana Vakekeli au sandala batiko na ngonango kana taliboni na singalia buni kuwa kia baka itiko na bata tarro ngoka baka na bika ke rusa barita tok baleta ke manitiko na bika membaleta na non rambulo ira baka lenga yang unisala na donga sera maboa o mota ni na alebuna lo mataro taro etiko membaleta o ira baka ramaboa tali da na buku ni ken eramatini ka yadana bagala ka ena tuta na ngana lawa e baudira se tapa na rai mi pali pola pola ena buguni tikena gok.
So Mr. Malka is asking incidents or cases regarding if our for example passengers or pedestrians drunk, do we still assist them?
That's a very good question, Malakai. One of the, and this takes us back to why the new law was introduced. Under the old law, it was a fault-based system. So a victim of a motor vehicle accident would have to prove that the driver was at fault. And also under the old scheme, under the old law, not everybody was covered. It was just for third parties. And there were a lot of struggles under the old law. People would have to engage lawyers and battle with insurance companies, and there'd be years and years of delay, court battles before anyone got any money. And so this is why government introduced this scheme to make things easy for all Fijians. And so to answer your question, it is a no-fault scheme. So if there's a motor vehicle accident and the passenger is drunk, the passenger and the passenger gets injured or dies, then they or their family members will be entitled to compensation, even though they were drunk. If the driver is drunk and gets injured, then the driver would be excluded from compensation. So he or she will not get compensation because they were drunk. But all the innocent passengers and innocent pedestrians will be compensated.
Pina wale busar wambota ni sama tatati wana iba mataloya ena non tundu batena Vakekeli na tindu mandana non da dengu lekalek. Pina wale busar na kena ding tiko weekend na Vakekeli na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo moiviti na kena ba mata tagiti ko na vengaravi ngaraba na tamba na buni matani tuwa na Accident Compensation Commission Fiji vaka tikongo kana kena buni lewa kana nda bulang itiko pal ni wali sene kabini ku Mr. Parvez Akbar kena nonra buni bola tali da bola wa mbotu ni ndona wekanda to kana mon telefoni sergandua ina wale buna kena dingi tagina Vakekeli ni mbola benak
Kento na taro.
ko ya
Wala ke wendo wakati komendala ni wale vake. Yo, dai la reni lutu supumai, lutu mo ko ni ndota na tabu patta ko tiko. Wala na tantana.
ndo na kerkere rawan no toka ruota kana na munitaro.
Endo wakati komendala.
Ngol ya unangan reba mona baka mata tak ramanda bi kemuni na baka tundaling iti kumai ya kabi nikua na pengarabi kito bitang loti kinang ko kami belata na kena sotabi na lenga baka talaka yang unisal ya na Accident Compensation Commission Fiji ka tiko kina na kena buni lewa weekend ya na singani kua tali da he tarongati koko e mbala take waka endu e mani lutu waka dala kama e nandula ndela abu buni vali. Wambota ni seta e na roni sumi kina natar.
Naka, keto ta karavanga tambani ni motor vehicle accident. Na makana tukuna mai kuna turanga ni lutu e. Wambota ngarabar to na labor. Keto ngaravanga na motor vehicle accident.
Yan isang unita ron to na bekan to kana mon telefone serang do bena wali bunan girma ini bola benaka.
Ni bola benaka to.
Mbulosak.
Awa na wali benaka ni ko ni raba yung tawo na tabano ko ento kana tao na buni para ka ngon sala. Ke pa kay senga na depat ni gen na bondo tiro na lut. Pero sa unta nga para mo mata mata ken na buni na wali sa. Remember.
The call is actually if they don't have a third party, are they still covered under that?
Okay, that's again a good question. So if I can just clarify a couple of things before I answer that question. First of all, under the old law, motor vehicle owners would have to buy third-party insurance from any insurance company. Now, you don't do that. Now you go and pay motor vehicle accident levy at LTA, and LTA collects that money and gives it to us. So that's one difference. The other difference is that the motor vehicle accident levy is much cheaper than what people used to pay in the past. Coming to the question specifically, in terms of whether you're covered if there's no third party, if a motor vehicle has no third party or has no motor vehicle accident levy paid, then the owner of that vehicle will not get compensation. If the owner of the vehicle is in the vehicle and is injured or dies from a motor vehicle accident, if the owner hasn't paid the levy. But all the passengers in that vehicle will be entitled to compensation if they are injured or die because they're innocent in that. But the owner will not get compensation if the owner is injured in the vehicle if they haven't paid the levy.
Yan isa unita robi ke mundo na beka ni nangiriti ko memba na kila ko matatabe ka kebaka o kwanito kinitoli li sanga ni so mana na ibagada bada nondu no misuma yana tambana ni bila ko ke bono mamad. Kamani ada na bagada ka e kuto tikngan rebeni tolili o to kini tolili na tolili kamani ada na bagada ka ena sanga ni somi point donaka ya keba ka rapas india kage ada na bagada ka pe Italia manda ni sanga ni somi na levi en somi ngana non rambula boila ya na bika e baga ando to ko weekend na puni lawa ni Accident Compensation Commission Fiji Mr. Akbar en e kabini quando tala na beka to kana mon telefone serang do bina bali bulan girma ini bola benak.
What is the process in applying for compensation? This is my simple question. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for a very relevant question. So it's as simple as possible. No, so the good thing is there's no lawyers, no application fee, nothing. All you need to do is go to your nearest LTA office and pick up an application form. You tell the person at the counter that you want the application form for applying for accident compensation. And once you have that form, you fill in the details that are required in that form and provide the necessary information. You put all the information together and then you can lodge the whole application at any LTA office in Fiji and they will send it to us. In terms of the information you need to provide, in the case of death, we will need certified true copies of the death certificate. We would need the certified true copy or original police report. We will need photo ID of the deceased as well as the person applying for compensation. We need a confirmation or certified true copy of details of your bank account so that the money can be paid into the right account, and photo ID of any sort of photo ID as long as it's official. That's for death. For personal injuries, we need a certified true copy of the medical report. We need certified true copy of the police report. Again, bank details and photo ID, and we will process it from there. Naka.
Yan namunisyon ni Taro binawali busa rabata Taro to kamay yan nonday once ni muna baro tagi na Vakekeli ndo tele na wakanda to kana mon telefone sa kando binawali bulan girmay ni bula benaka.
Bula benaka mala wa bula terna bero na bula ni pakai. Do ngana Taro na buku ni lang pasal kaya ngonsala wi wakati talanga kina wi era tumbali tuara zonga era ni zonga ramate bondo era ni dona era komisi takisa
Iyo.
Sana taroma.
Tengah retong paling besar bakal sama mazalata ka suggestions. Kaya kami nga iko tong bachi ko lulong ka. Kaya ko mabo personal compensation. Kaya ko mate kaya ito na weka mo rin nak may mingi may filter na fu.
Yana isionitaro kemni ngole na wekando ya bina wale busar na bawa tungtali ngachiko mai nimbula bina ka bina wale muna kena kita kena Vakekeli ngole telenga na wekando ya na vika e bore titi na singani kuah sabe un titi kino tali da kebka eto bole tiko ngoni salo ira na pedestrians ka ramani e vanga tati ngolo tolo ngoni salo lo vonga kamati selenga ena raw wan dono wekana bolek nona next of kin men ngole tiko mai ka mai re boli bola na ken lewini na fomu e bagaru teki tiko ina ken bagaru teki mai na vika e koto lebuna ngune lo motor to tiko na bagadala ka ke baka na mani e donga ndona mbashi ke mande donga ndona mbashi ndona tamani basi lebungok e vida na mbula ka vive roma adaba na remi boli bola membaleta na kenan garapi o ira rama boa ke ira balengai.
A question is by Mala regarding a scenario, a bus have an accident. The question is about the passengers in the bus. Will they all compensated?
Naka. Definitely. So this also brings me back to another difference between the old arrangement and the new scheme. Under the old scheme, in a bus example, the maximum compensation payable for the whole bus was $40,000. Under the new scheme, for death, it is $75,000 per passenger, so each individual. So and for personal injuries, it ranges from $75,000 up to $150,000 depending on the extent of the injuries. So to come back to your question, if there's an accident involving one bus or multiple buses, each passenger will be entitled to compensation separately and individually, and it's much more now than under the old law.
Na wale na isaunitarro sa koetikua na isaunitarro na e kabiniku ke baka na lawa taumanda ke baka ndo nambasi ya do bana baka ka o ire ramabu ke ire lenga na wasinga na basinga bulu ndo ya na lawa ko na ngona ni ku kan dambiti ko kinana bulilewa Mr. Parvez Akbar sabi mo detektiku ni kebaka elewe tolu se elewe vida or toto doka erto na abi tsanga bulu kalimando la kebaka me kadibi no tombula en ngona e abakina na baka ka na ndo na mbasi awe ka teranga kina o ire ramabo ye tuna sabaka ko na bulilewa ni tigo na bika na ngandrebi me na kaumai bali bola mero ninge me taka takipata na bika ngandrebi ndo la bosa tigo weekend na telefoni no nda Vakekeli ena e kabini kuwa ke baka e libuna kauni ngande pa monna kila membale tana tambani vengara vivo na nonda bono na accident compensation commission of Fiji e lebu ena via kila na bana e tu kila na bali bola
Na kanito Valiver Bullet ngami Valewe lot 1 Geneva Road Valewe sino na bona chikina na Valiver na LTA
lebu na ngau na bali tira na driver ele buno ka tungo ke paka bunga mai non rematin nan rei ia bambuta ena yang men tu ngele subo mena tarrea ina woti manda ngai vida na itu tu ni be bolongo Sabina karanon de was ninguna barota kina Vakekeli na Radio Fiji 1 nando mo viti ena e kabinising moni tini kuwa ka ronon da bulang itu kena na bunilewa ni Accident Compensation Commission Fiji Mr. Parvez Akbar au wari takatigo ko kendo na ngona tali endo na ngona vinaka ni rawa ni bagalale mena bali bola me oni me vitala no dina ni abosti ko pertania ni ka kunilenga eroni kero na bibu toka ki tali da bola na non rabuni bola en kena bande ota ki meroni na raroti ukina non da vital no en ekabi ni kuani sambula bina kabina wale mna kena ndikita kina Vakekeli
yo malai batale
ko
na tarongo na lawango na kena tigu mai era no lesutali kita namba dimu te sa tigu sala sa ni tolin tel me urna kisi makaw na wali
Pinaka Nito cut-off date. Nito cut-off date na ACCF na Accident Compensation Commission Act 1st January 2018. Na kisi ada nga man bakingo lak ito reida. Kaya ka doon kisi man last year, yung pagsawad kito. Kito ndo wambi bita kami ralak na legal aid. Kaya wasal mabito.
Pinakabali besar, pinakabali pun beitala noa. Ena kabini ko na namuni taro na pingara bingoka tiga buta kinga mai en matai January ni bakingoka. Runung dulu tili kawalu lakomai mai tamani tikongo kena bisinga ni mataka. Ena ndakuni runung dulu tili kawalu kena bale runung dulu tili kabitu ngole na bemba kisauti tobi posalta tigo rauni no rai na legal aid. Erna buguni bi posalta kindona kan to kana mon telefone serkandu abina bale bona kena dikita kena Vakekeli ni mbula binak.
Iyo mbula na mal.
Mbula.
Mbula bikinga bero na bulan dokai.
Bula.
Kibo kai zonga na bashi. Era matikina sir mo voir na tu sa kitel tu air na en tetel bona labor. Naka.
So the caller asked about the bus and passengers they got the injured personal and death. You would like you to explain on that again?
Okay, sure. Thank you very much for the question. So if there's an accident involving a bus, and let's say some of the passengers get injured, and some of the passengers die, everybody that gets injured or dies from that accident will be entitled to some compensation. How much compensation depends on what happens. If somebody dies in the bus, they will be entitled to $75,000 each. Each person that dies in the bus will be $75,000. And if you recall my earlier example, under the old law, the whole bus would have to be $40,000. So you have basically share that with everybody. Now, every person that dies is entitled to $75,000. Everybody that gets injured will be entitled to some compensation. How much depends on the extent of the injuries. It may be a small amount because there might not be much injuries, or it could be a large amount. For example, for if these are total permanent incapacity, so like they've totally lost the use of, for example, their legs, the maximum there is $150,000. But that's only the maximum. The amount could be much smaller. It does depend on their injuries.
Pina bale bore bande we bore tiki ya ni enosomi na non rambula o ira lenga ka bagatanga kina bire ra baga mabota ki ke baka na mania do baga ka na basi ana bi kai baga mal tiki weekend ye na baga tuta kina bi kai somi bira mai na bimbi ni maboa e ap kai manda eroni la ke do sar na bida sanga bulu na undulu ke baka e ra baga liembe kana van sana manisha ndrawa ni rabito shaki na bimbi ni maboa sina kila mamanda ina ngai daga tagi kia na libuni lapo na somi membaleta na maboa ndora kan to kan mon telefone sa kan tuan ndora ni sambula binaka na wala mena kena kita Vakekeli
Mbulu siya mala.
mbulu binaka metal ni mbulu binaka
Dura taro.
kowe
Wala na rana taxi driver. Yang dua vi au tio yang dua vanua. Ya imbesi. Tio na lawa rio ya.
bila wale bo na kangu au bambota ni ngori tu na tiu na tambana ni LTA se ora tu na tambana ni bila ka ke bona mama mer tu na ngarabi ke muni na beita na no en non da Vakekeli ne ka venda indai e mai non da bulangi ti na buni le wa mai non tu na tambana boni mata ni tu ka senga ingara ndola vinga na bakingo ka ana Accident Compensation Commission Fiji ka sanon roto itabi tambagindo ortongo ka mer tu reida na kelang karabi ka semi baga ilabo non rambula o ira restaba na badalka ena bi tolo ninga oni sala ndore kan to kan mon telefone sa ndo bina bale kelang tinga tinga Vakekeli ni mbula benaka
no gudapo bale kana taro na buku ni kena proses tagina iginawo de ko mapo ena lenga si ludi torna na kena binde kena balam karen suli kena la mera pa matal mata kena ena biru matal mata bilwai se sa watilo nga kena rona pulang tu kana sekali roel
bila bale busar bila bale buan so mina no monitaro ni wuting ango ka ndona non da dengo leka
No, Malakai. In terms of the time frame for payments, it depends on whether it's a death or it's personal injury. So if I can cover off death first. As soon as we have all of the information, we will process the payment straight away. So if I can give an example of the first payment that we received, the child passed away on the 2nd of February. We had all of the information finally by 4th or 5th of March, and the following day we sent out an offer of $75,000. So the turnaround is very quick. So it's totally dependent on us having all the information. So we can process it very quickly once we have all the information. So that's for death. And now with death, there are two categories that we need to think about. One is where there's the death of a child, so someone who's under 18. That is easy to process for the applicant because automatically the parents are the personal representative of the child. And so they just have to establish themselves as the parent of the child, and they have all the information and will process it very quickly. If the death it relates to a person who's an adult, so over 18 years old, 18 and over, then the next of kin or anybody else who's appropriate will have to establish themselves as the rightful legal personal representative of the person who's died. So they have to go to a lawyer or to legal aid to apply for either a probate if they have a will, or they have to apply for a letters of administration if there's no will. That is an order they have to get confirming that they are the right person. So for example, if someone's wife dies or husband dies, then the spouse can make that application. Once all that, so that process takes a bit of time. It can take up to 5 or 6 months. Once, not from our end, but with the legal proceedings. But once all of that is done and comes to us for a person who's an adult, we'll process it very quickly. So this is all under death. Under personal injuries, what happens is we receive the application, and we then send it to the Ministry of Health, who have doctors who can do an assessment of the person's impairment. How badly are they affected by the accident? And that depends on the extent of the injuries. So there's a waiting period, there's a healing period. So the doctors will wait for the body to heal before they make a final assessment. And so that waiting period can vary. It can be, I mean, if they're ready for an assessment straight away, that assessment will be done straight away. Otherwise, it will be done, it could be 12 months, could be 18 months. It just depends on the healing of the body. So those are the time frames. But once we have all the assessments and once we have all the information, we will pay the money straight away.
Pinakabali mo na bibang dita kisa barito takabiken da Mr. Akbar en kabini ko na baga tutek nga na totolo ni kena baro teki main na bika ba bola ke ba ira na luvenda ira na ngwan lalai ke ba lele main na bagitini kamalu mero na baga din teki ronga ni tumutumu en totolo sarwanda na luvenda kame kadivino na bula ni teki bunia bakin goka en iteki buli totolo nga non ro garapa non roita bini tumutumbu mai bali bola na bula machi sa mai ortoba ka sokomuna ka kina bali bola mai tuku ka kena ma do taraba sa soli kina na ofa na buguri ka sumilisi na bitsa bulu kali manondul ba tau tonga na totolo inonda be ngarabi sera nonda kotele sumai nonda tuku pero tu kena be ka bagi bola kede ngandi bondola ba chube ka dal telefoni na tul se volando se va ni bosota na buku ni ken na numitiko na vika membaleta na compensation vika muni na nandu bodo tiko mai era rawa ni oni nangirma ena singele uniko paka ni barata ko ele buna kaiti ko na laurai ni vika membaleta na nonro na ipola ni paka mau ke paka alimbia kondolo mani ele buna ngauna o kenda ni ngona pe kabela ele buna ngauna na pe ele titaki na tapa na mata tini tuku bembalata na pe kani na loma ni pupai
na kama ento na kawe wa kure na katuko transio na death compensation. Once we make an offer, kita sa sulanin na offer, sa dingwa na offer ya. Presentan ni kota like kisen matawilaway. Don't go into everything else there.
Bale, na siya nga talinin kay ikaw na kaya ka saan daw sulia nga may na offer sa kuya, sa tingomi, saya ave kia ne senga tali ningai lago duru mata vila mai na veitala nongo ana vi wandi taki vina wale usar tali da bola na buni bola na buni lewa ni Accident Compensation Commission Fiji au nga rewa mo tanga tiko weekenda ningoka endua na tambana senga indola vinga na vengara vila boa tiko buto itinga mai na mata ini Januari rono nduru tini kawalu ve na pagadala kake na donga kede ave kia ngoka oire ronrangole ni mera reiti ko ni bali boa tong bale ngoni sa shole wena tiko ndona ilaola ko ndona tori ni mani adana boa ka no mo bali bola ngoka va bonga ke va ka on rai bati ko ngai matini ke warai o ito kini lori ka osagani somoti ko na levi ni bata bata ndo me so mi kena bale o iko sangani wakati na bitang noa bagai doritiko na singani ko hende so me tu ko na ngade me na bakuri tiko me bali bola en rani bogite mandanga kin na buli lewa
kentana kautoke tale mnangon nda na kabango ngendo solizona bebuke do mateni kado to reda quando visus au not kanda example que ka na provinsi ngoro suna lubi in total ge matena ngoningo na tubongo ningo ngela kume me tuana me claim tan compensation on behalf of the son kenda ge mai reda chika Rono tumtu asin na lubana total na wekan reda na lubana santo kita tu santo bang kota kami tu me boleh mai me untuk na declaration saja me boleh me wantin din tak ni ko reda na wane aku mai mat
bila boleh usar na iba madal talida en ndo mandana nonda de ngulagaleka Ia bina wale buna kera ningi tiko weekenda na Vakekeli na eka bini kuahan nonda sarang wale batiko ni uti ni wasi nonda baitala noa. I believe there are most many issues that you faced in the office, like for example, people who came in to claim for the money, even though they are not the real spouse and
right. Yes, Naga Mala. Yes. So what we make sure is that we fully scrutinize properly and thoroughly any application that comes through, and this is why we ask for information like the ID and the birth certificates and things like that, to establish the relationship that they have with either the injured, if it's a child, or the deceased. And so and one of the things that can come up is where the biological parent might not be looking after the child. It could be and this is something that you might have in a lot of families where there's like an informal adoption or looking after a family member. So if that is the case, what my advice to those parents or relatives is to make sure they formalize that arrangement, like getting adoption order or something like that, because otherwise it might be hard to establish that they are the rightful people to be the applicant.
Pina wale usar ya na bika buga de tiko weekenda en singani kuwa en lebu na bika sarre na ngandrivi meroni na matata kine valni bola ni oi kondina no dunu mesoli be ko nilap buga na bika sa buga tiko weekenda o talida ni lebu na ngauna nandong basika mai ganda enanonda esona ile rendra kaini muto sangan dagota na be susu asangan dagota na be marroi nangaw ngamba tinanga ni sa vikaim baleta na ilapo sangan da kautika na take mai nandu na voke kanda nanu mamenda na mai rawata kina na ilapo sangan yo kwea nangan de na vika kede me na matata tubugai bola no i kondina indu no mesuli beiko na vika o mai boka sangara wali bola ke warai san o mo boso tamanda na pangulinga na ilapo viko na kinito ki kandina sio kwea na itumutumbu kandina, se okoe na vaga mau, se okoe tu sa leong mai boli bola. Okay, o koen dinang koka. E ndondo no metura na iwasa-wasa nila. Você dela batiko weekend na telefone e na e kabini ko ke baga tu e so na ikuri ni e tuku sena taro na ngandrepa mo ni na akila tiko e na e kabini ndai ni senda betiko na bunila wa Mr. Parvez Akbar, mana Accident Compensation Commission Fiji, mena so matiko weekend na baga taro se ndu manra kai tiko weekend na biokan. On ngandrepa mo no mikima mikina ni berne me tapa na bitang no.
So you would like to say anything?
Yes, I would. I would like to talk about road safety, Malika, and it's really important because the Commission is there certainly to assist and compensate for any injuries or death that arises from the motor vehicle accident. But I'm sure all of your listeners will agree that prevention is better than cure. And almost every application that I see, and when we see the statistics regarding road accidents and fatalities, almost every one of those is avoidable. And we've just got either drivers who are rushing or careless, or we've got pedestrians who might be walking at night in the middle of the road, etc. So all of these are avoidable, and especially with little children getting hurt. And the other things we've noticed is little children running across the road. And so my plea to parents is to teach our children road safety from a very young age. I remember we all learned road safety from our parents, and it's an important thing to emphasize that so that we are not in a position where we lose our loved ones and have to run and get compensation, because compensation is there, but it can never replace money can never replace a loved one that we have. So my request to the public is to please be safe on the roads when you're driving or walking.
Bila wale bu Mr. Akbar ndo lewe kanda toka na mon telefoni sa ngandua bila wale bu ser rangir mai ni bola benak.
So ni kiti makawa. Kiko num dola ora ni pinti kena mongo. Jangan tar.
Sombe kana kisi makawa. Eroni na komai enang onangok ata bernatar. Obamoto ni sawa mata tati.
Sawa mata tati na kisi makawa kede kitonto selana advice mera laku na legal aid. Kito redanga na kisi na nampak niyo.
Na wale bana ya isanitaro ndo kanda toka na mon telefoni sa ngandua ni sambula benaka kemni.
Ni bola na tal mala dona taro. Obe taro na berona bola inta kai bada porque bola beti ni ngai kamanda tormanda banko elewa ngai ndo le tu no vale no to vale to mana chinana. O chia mania ndo na lenga mali zonga tala elewa. Donc allez on ça me bien tout posé de donner mena compagnie mais ala ki mena lai mame apply tak na compagnie dia en orto na matu balea ke no tina nga balea tani iso na nga doya tuwa na ana taru ke rani ba mata tek manda matrali na gawaya na wale mala.
So the gentleman is asking he gave an example if a couple, the girl decides to go and stay with her parents and then she got hit, she died. Who's going to apply? The parents or the spouse?
So the girl is going to stay with so if the biological parents are still alive, then the biological parents will have the first right to apply for compensation on behalf of the child. They'll be even though they're living with the grandparents. You're talking about the grandparents, is it?
No, the girl is married. And she decided to go and stay with her parents, leaving her husband behind.
Oh, I see. The girl. Okay, I see. Okay, in that situation, then either party can go and apply for. If there's no will, then either party can go and apply for letters of administration. And then if that is contested, then that'll be a matter decided by the court.
Bila boleh buat na muni sanitar sanangai betul awang akina. Na mata vela wai. Hewa mbota ni sama i besuki kenda kosangauna, santa wata langai kia nanda Vakekeli, e na Radio Fiji 1 nando mai biti, e na e kavi nikua.